Okay, good day, good night. Um, right now it's nighttime. It is March the 17th on a Monday, 2025. Oh my gosh, it's almost springtime. So the time did go forward, I believe it was. Something of that nature. So I'm going to talk and discuss tonight about time management and boundaries. The both you have to set, of course. Time, in managing your time, daily or whenever it is that, you're doing something. You have to manage time always, right? Well, I don't always do that. And I'm noticing that when you do that, there's more structure in your day, in your life, which in turn is actually a form of discipline. So I'm still getting used to being disciplined. And, our God is a God of order. And I'm all about order. But I'm so used to doing things, I guess in a drawn out time, right? Now I'm hearing that God does not have time. He doesn't go by time, right, in heaven. So it's like, when I heard that, I kind of got a little okay with that, right? But I learned too in the Bible, and it was somewhere in one of those scriptures where it said it's a sin, literally, to stay up too late, right, at night. And I wish I had the scripture where I could just go ahead and go to it, but I might put it down below in the description box. And so I have issues, I guess you could say, with that, right? I look at a lot of people and I see it's just like they make it seem like it's so easy and so simple to have good time management, right? And I know it's most definitely important with God to have time management, right? To manage your time with Him, because at a certain time anyway you have to commune with Him, right? Meaning talk to Him and whatnot. So like, say for instance, at night, He can wake you up at a certain time in the morning, and He wants you to pray or whatnot. That's a form of time management, because He does that pretty regular. He does it pretty regular with me. Now He know when sometimes I'm really exhausted and it's just like I'm beaten, I have to really sleep, but still, even so, He still ends up waking me up at a certain time. And if I don't get right up, I will be awake, right? I either sit up in my bed, or I just go ahead and start talking to Him and praying, or whatever the case may be, trying to find out and figure out what it is that He wants me to do. Most of the time it is prayer, but sometimes He just wants you to sit, and probably just listen and meditate, right, on Him. So that goes hand in hand really with setting boundaries, right? You have to set boundaries. You have to set boundaries with people. You have to set boundaries with things. You have to set boundaries in between the times that that you have to manage your time, right? It all goes together, hand in hand. Through your time, you have to set boundaries, right, with time, right? So, like I said, I applaud people when they do that. They literally write things down, like from like 1 o'clock to this, Now I can see if I have something to do, stuff like that, like doctor's office appointments or whatever, different things of that nature. or something that you plan to do on that day, yes, that's feasible. I can see that. I can do that, right? And it's just a talk, and it's just a discussion, because when I come on here, it's not going to be always, pointing towards me and about me, right? Even though there are experiences or whatever that comes out of it. But yeah, they a lot of times they easily write down things. Now, as far as and like I said, I don't have a problem with that when it comes to doing that with appointments or different things that you jot down that you know that you have to do, right? That's no problem. But to do it day by day by day, and mainly around God, is very important. It really is very important, because there's times where you can be consumed with other things, right? And you shouldn't be. And that's like an idol, right? And you're still really literally going above God and before Him, putting other things before Him. I can say that because, I've done that. Sometimes I still can do that, right? And I get consumed with other things that I shouldn't be consumed with. And I've said it before. And I'm still working on that. But it's like He knows I still have Him on my mind. They're still on my mind, right? Literally. Because I'm always singing hymns and whatnot within myself, and in amongst myself, right? And I know they're listening, and of course it's to them, because it's gospel songs. It's no other type of songs but that, right? So and it's about them. So when I'm singing it, so I don't really never let them out of my heart, right? God, Yeshua, and Mama Ru. Don't never hardly ever let them out of my heart. They're always there and in my mind, right? But I do really have to, I really have to buckle down and and do this time management thing, right? And set boundaries, because even so, like when you're having your time with God, I hear people say, me time, right? When people have children, I'm going to use an example. People have children, and the parents always say that, I have to have some me time, right? And that's setting a boundary. That's allowing your kids to go somewhere or put them to sleep while you have time for yourself, or take them over to someone's house while you go and have a self-care day or a day out with someone, right? That's setting boundaries, right? Because you can't allow certain things to overwhelm you, overcrowd you, and overconsume you, right? Like I was saying before, and that's so easy to do. It's so easy to allow yourself to be consumed with a lot of things, right? Especially, it shouldn't be with God, above God. Nothing should never be a consumption over God, really. That's if you have a relationship with God and that you follow Christ like that, right? And is a believer, and take your salvation and your relationship with God seriously, right? You can't overstep your bounds, right? Because we can overstep our own bounds over God, right? Or we can step bounds over God, and that's never good, right? We're always supposed to put God first, of course. As I'm learning, we always supposed to put, well, I better not say that either. A lot of people believe they're supposed to put themselves first, but in the Bible it speaks to think of the another person more than yourself. See, so that's really is not even true. The Bible is true, right? God said, "Let every man be a lie, and the word be true." His word is truth. He is truth, right? So it's true that we're supposed to put other people before us, right? Because there's people that can be in need and whatnot, and or need you, or even need your help, or even need your encouragement or whatnot. So you have to be there for them, right? About your brother, says about your brother, and holding your brother up, being behind your brother, right? Lifting him up. So there's a lot of sayings and scenarios that have gone out in the world, right? And they really actually worldly sayings, like fables and different things of that nature. So we have to be careful when we do hear those type of things, and if it doesn't align with the word, then we're wrong. Completely. We're wrong and the world is wrong, right? And we don't follow the world, we follow Christ, right? We are believers of Christ and we follow Christ, right? We follow what Christ do, right? Even when people say, like Paul says, I don't even do that. Like Paul says, it's what Christ says. You know what I mean? Whatever Christ we do for him is going to last, right? It's whatever he says that makes a difference, right? That means, what it is, really is, right? The statement. So, we have to set boundaries, and use our time wisely. Basically, that's what it is, right? Because I have things that I do, right, in the course of a day, but I always, majority of the time, I spend time with the Lord, unless it's something that kind of gets me off, that I need to, take care of right away, or something is happening around me, or something of that nature, right? But it's always supposed to be God first. And most of the time, every morning, I try to do that, right? Get up and pray and read my word, eat, take my vitamins or whatever. Sometimes I get a little sidetracked or whatever, but I still have God on my mind and my heart, and I talk to him, right? And I let him know, and I just say, Lord, forgive me. Look, I need to do this really, really quick, Lord, and I want to get back, to him, though. I don't want to not do what it is I know I'm supposed to do, which is commune with him, meaning talk with him, and get along with him, right? Meditate with him, right, and on him. So setting boundaries are important, right, with people, places, and things. People can cut sometimes into your time, right, when you're in the presence of God, and when you're communing with God at that moment, right, and meditating on him and whatnot. So it's your thing to actually be in control of that, right, and to stop it, right, and say, well, wait a minute, I'll get with you as soon as I can after I pray, or after I read my word, or whatever the case may be, right? Because we shouldn't allow, because it's just like allowing the enemy to do, whatever it is, to creep in, to sidetrack us, right? So, people can do the same thing, and we really are not to allow that to happen, right? Because God does come first, should come first in your life. So, sometimes I'm sure we all do that. And, but I have a tendency now of doing it and letting them know, well, look, I've got to do this. I'm going to do this first, and, I'm going to pray first, or whatever, right, the case may be, because it really is nothing to hide, right? Because when it comes to God, it's like an open book. He cannot be hidden. He's like our light, right? It cannot be hidden, right? And we are the same as he is, a replica of him, right? And reflection of him. So we have to be the same thing. We are light, right, to the world, that we cannot be hidden as well, right? So, if we are light, we have to stand up and be that light that God, wants us to be, right? So I'm going to be trying, be praying about it, working on my time management and my boundaries. Just like I said, when you have appointments and stuff of that nature, and write them down and whatnot. I'm gonna have to do the same thing, which is kind of hard though, day by day. But I'm just gonna have to, set that time down, pat down, and set boundaries at the same time, and say, look, you're gonna have to do this at a certain time here, like from 1 to whatever. That was never me. I'm sure it's not really that hard, right? But a lot of it has to do with your flesh though too, because flesh, you already know, tries to fight against the spirit all the time, right? And if we can keep our own flesh under subjection, right, into doing what it is that we know that we should do, and not allow our flesh to override us, we can get past that, right? With the help of the Lord, we can do that. So and of course nothing comes by doing it ourselves, right? It's through God's Spirit, right, that we are able to do what we need to do, because we can't do anything on our own. We just can't. We can only ask God, right, to help us, right? As His word says, ask and it shall be given to you, seek and you shall find, knock and the door shall be opened to you, right? So it can happen, it will happen. And I've got I'm gonna work on doing more time management, right, and setting more boundaries as well, because it is important. It's important, very much so, for your lifestyle, for your growth, moving forward, because we're never moving back and we're never looking back, right, to do the things that we need to do. And so I'm gonna leave that with you on tonight, and hopefully I'll be making another video soon, and you all stay blessed.